This is Angela from Strong Women Fitness, and I help people with their life coaching and health related coaching. And yes, that is what I do. So today we're talking about unwavering confidence and how to get it and how to keep it and how to use it. And how do we go about that? So first of all, I run Strong Women Fitness, and how they work, how their concept, their trials, their tribulations, all the things that they have to put up with. And so along this journey, I discovered mostly that a lot of the things that happen to us are all about what's in the mind, what we thoughts, our feelings, how we feel about ourselves, our belief patterns, and all of these things come into play. And so I went into studying NLP, which is neuro linguistic programming. It's a mouthful to say. And I first got introduced to it at a Tony Robbins event, and it was completely transformed my life. And so I delved into this in a big way. And now I've set up quite a lot of programs working at helping women. All of my programs I do because I help women, because I really understand that the trials and tribulations and all the things that you can do one-to-one with me, you can do some group settings, and you can just, or you can just turn up and listen to any of my trainings and teachings. Now, unwavering confidence. If there's anybody you think you should share this with, please share the video. That would be awesome. That would be wonderful. If they need any help, let them have a listen and see what they think. Let's start challenging some of their own beliefs. As now, you might think that I am a very confident person, and I am a confident person, and I do have high self-esteem for myself. But I wasn't always like that. I remember as a child, single report that I ever had always said, Angela does not speak, Angela does not speak. And I didn't. I was just definitely didn't speak. I wasn't confident. I wasn't sure of myself. Um, I was a very quiet child, and I was more of a people watcher, observing what was happening, what was going on. I had so many things trapped in my head, and so many dreams and aspirations and things I wanted to do and achieve, but I just kept my mouth shut. Now, as time went on, as I got older and older, I wanted to go into hairdressing, and um, also I wanted to go into being on the stage and things like this. And what I discovered was, how could firstly either of so I bring myself out, and I really did. And I'll tell you all of those stories another day. But I was. You can change. You can bring new confidences to yourself. You can, through a series of self-care and self-worth projects, you can actually, change your confidence and how you feel about yourself. So self-esteem and confidence. So what's the difference? So the main difference is self-esteem is always constant. It's what you feel about yourself, whereas your confidence might fluctuate in certain situations. I'm going to pull my curtain because the light is shining in my eyes. um, so the main difference is your self-esteem is how you feel about yourself. But it's definitely vital that you have a strong sense of both. confidence is a huge part in how you feel about yourself, and it really matters when it comes to things like your careers, your relationship, your self-image, and your interaction. To the uncomfortable, the more situations. You must remember going somewhere for the first time and it's extremely anxiety ridden. I mean, I remember when I first started going to the gym, I used to sit in the car park and cry. I just could not, like, it filled me with dread. It filled me with dread. I was scared. Um, but I forced myself to do it. And now I wander around the gym as if I own the place. So it can happen, and you can work on it, and you can change your thoughts about it. So if you have low self-esteem, you might automatically assume that you're not good at something when actually you might be. And sometimes you kind of self-sabotage yourself because it's self-fulfilling prophecy. If you said you wasn't going to be good at it, and so you're not good at it. So what are the signs that you need to work on your self-esteem and confidence? So are you someone who's do you constantly need self-assurance and you're not sure of your own abilities? Are you someone who's hesitant to speak up because you don't value your opinion? So why would somebody else value your opinion? So you tend to lack confidence in that way. Um, do you have the inability to take criticism? That is one thing that people that with low self-esteem cannot take criticisms. It just pulls them right back into nothing and puts them back under hiding again. They can't take it. Instead of sort of taking it on board and thinking, this is useful information that I needed. It's not criticism, it's useful information that will help me go forward. Um, are you someone who gives up easily? Someone with low self-esteem and lacks confidence gives up, because if you give up too soon, then you're in your head, you're proving to yourself yet again that told you I wasn't worth it. You and constrain you from achieving success um, in all areas of your life, basically. Um, and our beliefs come from various influences and experiences. So the influences would be, from early childhood and society and people closer to us. This is kind of influences what we believe. And if you have someone that was like had a mother that was very insecure or was like it was something that's constant, a belief pattern for you that you have to keep checking this, you have to keep doing this, all of those kind of things rub off on you, and you might not even realize they're just ingrained into how you feel about yourself and what things you judge yourself on. And our experiences too, as we get older, we go through we move away from our parents. It's more into the experiences of society, who we mix with, who we play, who we hang about with, who we start working with. And so and then some of the things that they say about us, their belief systems about us, whether they think we're good at our job, whether they think that we're reliable, whether we think that we're a good person, all these things start to build up a pattern of behavior of who you think you are. And some of them can be beliefs that actually limit your potential. So that's The first step to identifying what your actual limiting beliefs are. So some of the common limiting beliefs as I can't be my real authentic self or I'll be judged. I can't fall in love because I'll be get heartbroken. I can't pursue my dreams because I'll probably fail. All of these things are an internal dialogue that might be going on. I've left it too late. I'm too old. That's definitely a big one that comes up. I can't pursue my dreams because of this. Or I'm nothing special. Why should I try and do anything exceptional? Um, I don't deserve happiness because I'm not good enough. All of those things are choose the outcome you desire. So the first step might be to take one of your limiting beliefs and have a look at it. Ask yourself some tough questions. Consider um, what kind of person do you want to be? Do you want to be those beliefs that you've been holding on to, that have been knocking your self-esteem and knocking your confidence? Or do you want to design a whole new bag of beliefs, like I did when I was in my teenage years? I designed myself a new personality and then I ran with it. I mean, obviously, hormones came along and that kicked in and that helped. and and attention from boys that came in and boosted my self-esteem. But yeah, your own subconscious mind. But if you think, oh, I'd love to do that, and then next minute you have something in your head said, oh well, yeah, you probably can't, or you probably fail, or didn't you try that before, once before? All these kind of things pop up and crop up, and then you're like, whoa, no, I never really wanted to do that anyway. But if you stop yourself at the first hurdle, have a look at what it is. Is is it accurate? Is it true, this thing that you've told yourself? And why have you always believed this? Where's it come from? And where's the evidence to walk? If they failed, well, no, couldn't do it the first time and gave up, what would happen then? And like when kids are learning things, they do it over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. That's like everything, and we never give ourselves a chance. Like we do it a few times, think, oh, this is uncomfortable, this is hard, this is not good, this isn't working. And then we put it to one side and we don't try it again. Yeah. But actually, if we keep trying it again and again and again and again, it's like anything. The more you do it, the easier it becomes, the better it is, the more comfortable it is, the less painful it is. All of these things, if you can just get yourself outside of that comfort zone and really push, it will really, really help towards your self-esteem, which will help towards your overall confidence. So I know it's hard, especially if you're someone who's more introverted. But like, consider the consequences of how much it is holding you back physically, financially, spiritually, emotionally, in your relationships, in your workplace, in everything. How would it feel if you managed to change some of these aspects of how you feel about yourself and really boosted your self-esteem? Because your self-esteem is something that will dictate how confident you feel. And so this is what you need to do. You need to look and to do some few challenges, give yourself some empowering beliefs instead. Give yourself some empowering beliefs, condition these new beliefs in your head that you can do these things. Yes, you're going to be rubbish at first. Of course you are. But you're just going to keep going over and over and over again until you get a bit better, a bit better, a bit better. Then that thing becomes so easy. It becomes an automated thing. It becomes normal. And so it's the next thing, then the next thing. And then before you know it, you've done all of these things that you never thought that you could do, because you've managed to change how you feel about yourself, and which has given you the confidence to try new things. Trying new things is the absolute way of doing it. And what I tend to do is I might visualize something that I want to achieve, and it might scare the shit out of me because I tend to do that. I tend to visualize things that really, really scare the shit out of me. And then I keep it in my head that how good I would feel about myself if I put myself out and did that. And and just keep doing this. Just keep doing it. And also, you know, what you have to do is on a daily basis is start changing your self-talk, what you say to yourself, the things that you every morning repeat over and over and over to yourself. I remember having to write after my failed relationship. I remember I felt so unworthy, and I was definitely not enough, or I didn't feel like I was enough in any way, shape, or form. And so what I did was I wrote in lipstick I went through oh God, what do you call it? Hypnotherapy course, and I wrote you are enough on the mirror. So every morning I woke up and I saw this: you are enough, you are enough, and it was ingrained in the very first thing that I saw in my brain. And I had the whole thing of um, practicing this self-talk, and then the affirmations. There's something I might positive statements. I mean, I know people say, oh, affirmations don't change anything. They can change things. They can change things that if something slipped into your mind and you've said to yourself and it's negative, and you know it is, you can correct it. You can go along and correct your own statement. If you have a statement in your head that you like, that you want: I am this, I am worthy, I am a kind person, I am a brilliant parent, I am like great at my job, I am this, I am that. And if you keep repeating those things, they can really, really, really help, because a lot of the thought patterns that we have are automated thought patterns, and they're the same patterns that we repeat to ourselves over and over again. And a lot of them can be negative ones. When the whole situation was a tiny little bit negative, but really positive overall, and it's our perception on that which like, but when we raise our self-esteem, our perception on the balance of positive and negative will change, so that we see ourselves more positively. Do is tip that balance, so that we are working in the realms of positivity, so that we can really connect with ourselves and have a really great self worth and a self feeling about ourselves, because actually everything comes back to our quality of life. Everything comes back to is what happens on in here. What goes on inside us, what the thoughts and the feelings that we say and we feel about ourselves, not general interactions that we have on a daily basis. They actually are not affecting us. It's what our interpretation of these things. And if we can elevate our self-esteem, we can build our confidence, and we can go on to achieve so many amazing things, because we just have backed me. Yeah, I back me every day of the week. That's what I say to myself now. If something, I'm not sure of something, my gut instincts told me to do it, I back me. I'm a sure bet. 100%. Put your money on me. Yeah, that's how I feel about myself, and I want you to have that, because having that self-worth doesn't make you an asshole. It's not made me an asshole. All it's done is I back me. Yeah. So practice your positive self-talk. Have some sentences, some affirmations that you say repeatedly when you know that you've slipped into negative talk. Stop comparing yourself to other people. Oh my God. Like, everybody is unique. That is the most amazing thing. us, you know, like to the outside world might lean into it, because us being unique, that's the all of us. um, just eliminate that judgment on yourself. You know, like you can't expect to get everything right 100% of the time and do every, you know, like be this person that you think is the most happiest person and the most successful person. Yeah. Eliminate your comparisons, eliminate all those judgments, and incorporate some self-care in your life. This will really raise your um, self-esteem. And self-care is just something. Self-care is a word, and people are like, self-care, what does that mean? All it means is doing something that you like, doing something that makes you happy. That is self-care. Yeah, doing something that gives you a buzz, doing something that gets those endorphins going, gets you excited in life, lights you up. Yeah, do that and do more of it. Do more of it, because that is what's going to make you happy. And, you know, let go. You know, is it somebody else's? Because no matter what, somebody else, even if you think that is perfect, there's nothing, you'll go, oh, what about that? So it's always someone else's perfections. I mean, someone else's perceptions on this thing. So there is no perfect, does not exist. So make sure that you celebrate something daily, something small that you've done. You know, practice gratitude. Now, this is a really interesting one, because gratitude is just, it's life. Gratitude back into your life of what you have now. You know, like even if it's, you know, a cup of tea in the morning, or if it's the sun shining, or if it's you've seen a flower, anything, you know, your kids smiled at you, something. If you add that as a positive thing to your life and note it, that's all what positive gratitude, you know, practicing gratitude is noticing the little things. And then those collection of small little happy things build up to a crescendo of bliss. They really do. So add those things. And when it comes to, you know, changing how you feel about yourself, don't expect a miracle. Go, right, oh, today I've decided to change, and tomorrow I'll be a new person and I'll be. No, you won't be. It doesn't work like that. You have to put all of these elements in place, you know, and don't, you know, go, right, I'm going to run, you know, like do small steps, small positive, tiny little steps that you can introduce daily, that you can build and build and build and build and build and build. And this will really elevate all of these things that I've talked about, will really elevate how you feel about yourself, which will elevate your self-worth. Your self-worth and self confidence will give you you know, like the confidence to go through life and try these new things, which will expand your life. And when you've expanded your life, you'll have new, more interesting experiences, and it will all be a big loop of loveliness. Come say hi to me, send me a message. If you want to work with me, by all means, there's 3 ways of working with me. You can either come and listen to my teachings over here in my Facebook page, or the videos I put out on YouTube, or you can come into one of my feminine and masculine energy, how it works, how we use it, how it can complete your life, how it can change your life. We also look at, calming those emotions, regulating your central nervous system, do a lot of training on the physical side. And then we also look at wealth energetics as well, and the legacy that you want to leave, and all those lovely jubbly things. So that's a program I'm running at the moment. If you want to know more about that, let me know. The only other alternative I do have a small coaching practice of one-to-one. You can go through anything, any department in life to me, and I will let you know. Brilliant. So I will see you tomorrow. I will be doing another live on. Oh, tomorrow's live is about I have 3 coaches. Yes, I know. Greedy, I know. But I'll tell you why tomorrow. So take care, have a wonderful day, and I love you all. Mwah.